Hello everyone, welcome to Canteen Cup. My name is Scott and how's everybody today? I want to take a few minutes and talk about compasses. It looks like here in the near future, maybe over the next month or so, I may be starting a basic compass slash orienteering classes for some of my community, my group or my team crew, whatever you want to call it. I don't get overly wrapped up about what we are, but in today's world with cell phones and iPads and built-in GPSs, that I think some of us have kind of lost some of the skills of how to use a compass. I know I have gotten rusty over the last couple of years, and I am trying to dedicate some more of my time into getting better with my land nav skills and to brush up with where I feel I need to be. So I'm going to have a little, and sometimes the best way to learn something or relearn something is to teach a class, and so I'm getting ready to kind of teach a class. And this is a video that, of course, is available to everybody, but mainly for people that attend my class if they're wanting to get an idea of what type of compass to get. This will give them some idea. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about a couple compasses. Really, I have two, but they kind of cover 80 to 90% of all the compasses you're going to find out there. Okay, the first one is the old standard, the military lensatic compass. This is made by Kaminga, which is the company that supplies our military with their compasses. It is a sighting compass, and really how this works is there's a magnifying glass here, as you can see, and when you sight it, you are looking through this little slit here, and then in here there's a wire, and so you're putting the wire in the slit, and then you're looking at what your degrees are. Okay, it's a fairly accurate compass. This one is a Tritium Compass, which means that it doesn't need a light source to glow. This glows in the dark on its own, which is great for land navigation. If you're going to do land nav, this is the compass you have. Some of the benefits of this: number one, it is good for land nav, because not only are there tritium inside for the compass points, but there's a tritium point here that you can spin, and there's two more up here, so that you don't need a light if you're land nabbing. That's a good thing. The other thing I like about this compass is that it is magnetically dampened. In other words, there's no liquid in here, so there's no problem with bubbles. And this one is balanced for the northern hemisphere. With compasses, they do make a global, but you can also get, normally they come either balanced for the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere. This is balanced for the northern. It's a robust compass. I'm going to tell you right now, this thing weighs about 5 ounces, and that's important. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. The drawbacks to this is it does take a little bit of skill to learn how to use the sighting part of it. Also, too, on the dial, the compass rose, as it were, there are mils and degrees, and you have to be able to realize which one is which. The other thing is, it's not a, when you use it as a protractor, this is a ruled edge here. You can see, maybe you can see that there's a ruled edge there. It's not clear, so you can't see the map underneath it. And when you use this to shoot an azimuth, you have to align the map to magnetic north or true north if you use declination before you can actually get the proper azimuth. The other thing with this thing is it does not have adjustable declination, which I'm on the fence about that. Yeah, it's great because you can set your declination in, and then you just have to shoot an azimuth and read directly off the dial. However, as you move east or west across the country, and sometimes a little bit north and south, your declination changes. And if you forget to change the declination on your compass, well, whereas if you are just automatically doing it in your head and it becomes second nature, then you don't have to worry about it. So that's not really a drawback. The other drawback is this thing is, for a compass, it is heavy. It's 5 ounces, and that's all this has. If you are using if you do want to use a protractor on a map that you didn't have to orient, you can buy a plastic protractor, but that's something else you have to carry. All right. So, in general, a good compass. I mean, this was the style of compass that I had in the Army in the late 70s and early 80s, so it's still around, same design. All right, the next compass I have is what's called a base plate or a protractor compass. This one is made by a company called Suunto. This compass is made in Finland. I really like this brand of compasses. This one has what's called a global needle, which means I can use it anywhere in the world. Benefits for this is you can use this on a map without having to orient the map because the dial itself turns and you don't have to worry about the needle. This has a mirror, which also doubles as a signaling mirror if you know how to use it. It does have a magnifying glass, which if you're an eyeglass wearer like me, you may need that. You can use it as a protractor, and there are scales on this on the base plate that you can read to get a UTM or Universal Transverse Mercator coordinate system. You can do that. There's an inch scale and a millimeter scale, and so all in all, it's a pretty handy compass. This is my go-to compass. I do like the clear base plate, so when I have it on a map, I can see underneath it. And I also have a pair of Ranger beads, which I won't go into for this video, but they're attached here. And I also have a whistle. And this whole setup right here, everything included, is only 2 3/4 of an ounce. I weighed it on my scale. I have an ounce scale. So it's almost half the weight of a military compass, and I don't need a mirror, I don't need a magnifying glass, and I don't need a separate protractor. So it actually makes it even more compact. The base is fairly thick, and so for those who were not in the military, for those who are maybe looking for a compass, I would suggest you get a base plate compass. Now, they do make these without the mirror. This is a sighting mirror. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is a thin, let's see, we'll get closer, maybe you can see it. Yeah, you could barely see it, but there's a thin line right there. And what you do is you take the thread, let's see if I'm, and you sight, there's a little notch here, and you sight, and then you use the mirror to read to make sure you're getting the right azimuth. It's probably every bit as accurate as my military compass. And the other thing this one has is, let's see if you can see it. It has a chronometer, which is that little black arrow right there, so I can measure slopes. And sometimes that's used, sometimes no. This one does have adjustable declination, so you can adjust your your magnetic to true north, and that'll be another video when I talk about declination. But it's a good compass. This compass is phosphorescent. In other words, you have to shine a light on it to get the markers to glow. So, you know, this is a drawback. Well, how many times is everybody going on night maneuvers where they have to maintain light discipline? Not really often. This is used by the military. Several militaries in the world use it. I think some of our special forces types use it. I know a buddy of mine who was in the 82nd Airborne back before I went in was using a silver compass, which is similar, and that's what he used. So if you're looking for a compass, you don't have to get a global compass because they're more expensive. This one's global, but you want something with a clear base plate. You want something that has degrees, and you want to have a way to sight it. The rulers are nice. The magnifying glass is always nice for those of us that have glasses, and mirror is optional. This one is the MC2G. Now, if I'm recommending a compass to somebody, I'm going to say you need to get a Suunto compass. Number one, these are made in Finland. Silva, which for many years was a premier brand. Right now, all their compasses are made in China. I think it was back in the 80s. They sold a trademark to Johnson Outdoors, which is a division of Johnson Wax, and then Brunton got involved. The brand really kind of went downhill, and I lost my confidence in them. I don't care for Silva compasses, and I don't care for Brunton compasses, and I've had both. I did like the older Silvas, the ones that were made in Finland, but the newer ones I'm not too sure about. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. But the Suunto makes anywhere from relatively inexpensive. I think you can get a basic base plate model for about 20 bucks. These start getting up around 80 bucks, but these are a precision instrument. So that's all I got for you for today. Just a little rundown on compasses and why I choose what I choose. This fits in my kit a lot easier. It's like I said, it's almost half the weight of this, and you get a lot more versatility with these, and probably just as accurate, because part of the equation is the operator. I think kind of like guns, that these are probably more accurate than the person using them. So anyhow, I'll probably do some more of this as time goes on. So everybody take care, stay safe, and stay secure.